It was another ugly first half for the Hokies. Started off really good with two quick scores, but in the second quarter, Old Dominion outscored us 10-0. And there was a couple busts. We went for it on fourth down instead of kicking a field goal from the 27. But the second half, Hokies struck again. And we put up 23 points after the break, went back to the effective run game. Our quarterback was running angry. Tugboat was running efficiently. And Drones, I mean, Drones really led us. Is that what you felt like when we saw him come out early in that second half and have that really physical run? I feel like that kind of changed the tenor of the game.
Yeah, and, I had to go back and watch it because, as I told you, Pete, I was actually at the stadium in Winston-Salem watching Ole Miss beat the piss out of Wake Forest.
We will get to that one for sure.
Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah, but having gone back and watched it, I think you hit the nail on the head. And I think that this is, to be honest, this is the identity of Virginia Tech. It's when Kyron Drones is going out there and he is playing loose and he's playing unafraid and he's playing like he wants to run through someone's head. Like that is the Kyron Drones that we're missing. And the whole team feeds off of that, offense and defense. So when he's got it rolling, that's the Virginia Tech we've been waiting to see. And this second half, to me, that was exactly like what the hype was about. We just need to turn it into 4 quarters of a performance. And Kyron, Tyler Bowen's got to do whatever it takes to get Kyron to play with that kind of edge and that kind of confidence and not play scared out there. Because if he's playing scared, offense is toast.
And maybe it's scared in quotes, right? Like it's not like
timid.
He's not playing with full confidence. He's playing timid, whatever it is. It's hard to put it into words, but what we saw in that second half was what we saw against Tulane in the bowl game. It's what we saw against Pitt and BC and UVA, all those really good games that we had last season. 117 yards rushing, 2 total touchdowns, a vicious stiff arm, second best QBR in the conference on the weekend. He was only behind Cam Ward, who threw for 5 touchdowns. So whether it was his stats on the page or what we saw on the field in the second half, it was impressive. And to pair him with the man that is Tootin at running back. In the first half, once again, I'm tweeting angry. I'm all upset because we're not running the ball enough. We score on those first 2 drives, and then it seemed as if once the scripted plays ran out, we didn't have a plan, at least not a good one.
No.
And so again, it takes them, we can't seem to string together 60 good minutes. We get great spurts. And in this game, we probably had 45-ish good minutes, but it was so nice to see it get back to what it was last year in that second half. Now we thought we had figured it out against Marshall in the second half. So when I saw it again, that's part of the reason I was getting so upset. I'm like, we're doing this again. We already did this in the first half last week. We did this in the first half against Vandy. Can we please stop doing this? But even against Marshall, I don't think we saw the physicality and the confidence from Drones that we saw on Saturday.
No, we saw it from Tootin, but it hadn't gotten to Drones yet. And I think listening to Brent Pry's post-game comments, the word that he used that I think is spot on is patience. And he talked about how we needed to be patient on offense. And just, I think about it as like if you're watching a basketball team and they've got 4 incredible shooters, but they've also just got this 7-foot big man, right? Like it's more flashy to just chuck up a bunch of threes and score more points that way. But sometimes you just got to keep feeding the post and let the big man go to work. And that's what it's like is I think I understand that Bowen, we have all these weapons and we want to utilize them. And it feels so good when we get like a big touchdown, your Parker Clemens doing jumping jacks and Jalen Lane's wide open over the middle. Like those plays are awesome. But you know what else is awesome? Tootin just running through dudes and scoring over and over and over again. And once you're doing that, and once Kyron's getting going in the run game, it's not pretty, but it will set up all of these great opportunities. And we just have to be patient and it's like, I don't know why it should feel like we're going kicking and screaming into calling run plays to arguably the best running back in the ACC, but here we are. So
I know. I'm real tired of dicking around with
that's a
trying to be a passing
much
team.
better word than
Like,
patience. Quit dicking around.
I'm quick grab assing and let's run the damn
Run
ball.
the damn ball.
I think SWVA just put out the release tonight of the run the damn ball hats. You've got a
I
beautiful
will
SWVA.
buy one for Tyler Bowen right now.
You just got a fresh one today. You're wearing it.
Yeah, I'm wearing the number 7
hat.
but I will. Tyler Bowen, drop your Venmo. I will buy you one of those hats, okay? And you wear it every day.
Dude, if he wore a run the damn ball hat in the booth, like that would be incredible.
Yes.
But we just have to own what we are. Me and Sam said, stop trying to be something we are not. I know we have the wide receivers. I know we paid them NIL. They're still going to get paid. Run the damn ball. Like, run the damn ball, because we are such a better team when Tootin and Drones are doing that read option and they're both running and things are just fun, because the offensive line has to play more physical, which gives them more confidence. They tend to look a little bit better, and they're struggling right now. Like, the offensive line is really struggling. We have given up the 5th most tackles for loss in the country among power teams, power conference teams, the 5th most. There's like 70 teams, Rob. So, it's the offensive line has to step up, but even with them struggling, we can move the ball on the ground. And 289 yards rushing as a team, 5.7 yards per carry. I know it's ODU, but ODU's D-line isn't like the most terrible thing, and it's a team that's given us problems, and we're on the road. So it was...
Well, in ODU, they kept Rocket Sanders bottled up in that South Carolina game. That's how they almost won the game, is that South Carolina couldn't run the ball, and that's all they know how to do.
Right. I'm telling you, man. Me and Sam said we were close going into ODU, and we are this close to being really good. We just need to string together consistent football for a whole game, and we'll be able to beat a team like Rutgers or Miami that we have coming up. I know people might laugh at that thought of beating Miami, but like, if we play our best for an entire game, it's a good team. Like, we're playing like what we think to be not very good. We just beat Marshall by 17 and we beat ODU by 20. I mean, and these are our bad games. Like, in my opinion, we're not playing up to our potential. So the ceiling is still high for this team. Let's go to Jalen Lane, 7 for 106 and a touchdown. I don't think he did any production outside of the first quarter. I think all those catches might have come in the first quarter.
Great. That's the beauty of this offense, is when it's rolling and you've established that run game, and now the defense is cheating up, and now you have the opportunities to distribute the ball wherever it goes. You're going to have one guy like feast, and then the defense is going to be like, oh shit, we got to stop that guy. Great. Now 3 other guys are open. Like, that's the beauty of it. And if we can execute it well, like, the theory of it is beautiful.
Yeah. Let's congratulate the better side of the ball in this one, because even though the offense ended up having a really nice game, I thought the defense, aside from 2 busts, was dominant. And 293 yards allowed doesn't tell the whole story, because some of that came in garbage time. And about 40% of that 293 came on those 2 plays. So just 50 yards passing for ODU, which has thrust the Hokies pass defense up into the top 25 easily. APR had 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 7 total tackles, and 6 solo. He was a menace in this game. There was that one series where I think we had, was it 3 straight sacks? I think Gilliam had one of those, and then APR had the other 2. But regardless, like I said at the beginning of the year, I thought this defense was capable of getting 50 sacks. This is what I was expecting, this type of performance. We're not going to get there without like 10 more of these performances, but this is the kind of stuff. They come in bunches, as JC Price said, and on Saturday we had a bunch. It was also nice to see Gilliam get 6 tackles in a set.
Oh yeah, he played really well. And shout out to Aeneas Peebles as well, because this was a game where I felt like he's not going to show up in the box score because he was drawing all this attention, but he was essentially clearing up the path for all these other dudes to get into the backfield. And I think that that's going to kind of happen. You know, they're going to pick their poison on the defensive line, but Peebles was holding his own, and then other guys were able to take advantage. Yeah. But it was really cool. I don't know if you've heard APR's post-game press conference yet, but I believe it was David Cunningham shared the stat with him that he is now the second player in Tech history to have multiple games with 4 sacks, and the other one being Bruce Smith. And the absolute joy and shock that
I did
APR
not see
had,
that.
like, you got to watch it. It's the most genuine thing where, like, he hears the stat and, like, his face just lights up. He's like, wow, like, just me and Bruce Smith, like, to be mentioned with Bruce Smith is crazy. And like, that's great, man. Like, that's, like, he is that, well, he's not, I mean, he's not that good, but he's good.
He's very good.
He's not the best, sacker of all time, but he's really good.
NFL Hall of Famer, most sacks in history. Yeah. But he did get dapped up by Bruce Smith before the game. Like in warm-ups, Bruce was out there dapping him up. And so maybe he had a little bit of that power in him. And what a performance by him. Really impressive stuff. So let's cut it off there. Me and Sam are going to go more into detail on that and then into Rutgers on our Two Deep show on Wednesday. Rob, for right now, I want to know what you're drinking. Tell me about this beer. What do you think? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I've been made aware that this is a beer that you've already shared on the show, but it is the Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest. If you come down to North Carolina, Sierra Nevada is huge. It's originally based in California, but they have a pretty large brewery in Mills River, North Carolina, which is just outside of Asheville. It's very similar. It's a massive facility. They've got, basically you can like camp there. It's a lot like Devil's Backbone in Crozet, if you've ever been out there.
Yeah.
Where it's just a whole facility and you can sit, you can walk around like it's a whole campus. So Sierra Nevada, you'll find it in every grocery store in North Carolina. They did this Oktoberfest Fest beer collab with Gutmann brewery in Germany. I haven't poured it into a glass, so I can't see the color, but it's a solid Oktoberfest. I'm pretty picky about my Oktoberfest, to be honest. I wouldn't say this is the best one I've ever had. It's good, and I like it. It's kind of middle of the road. I would say I would give it like a 3.7. I wish some of those sweeter like caramel notes and those sort of things were a little stronger. It's a clean finish, but it's a little light. So I would give it like a 3.7.
I think I agree with you. And I think my review was virtually identical. And just in that, what was good about it? Like it was a solid beer, but nothing about it was like, oh yeah, I want to definitely get this again or anything like that. It was just, oh, it's a good drinking Sierra Nevada. Like when I'm drinking, when I get something Sierra Nevada though, like I kind of expect really like good beer, like because so many of their beers just even their green label pale ale, it's my favorite pale ale. Like it's classic. Just it's so freaking good. And so just a little bit disappointed on that one. I'm going to blame it on Gutman. How about that?
Yeah, Gutman, Gutmann. I don't know how you say it, but I think this is a beer where like if this is a tailgating Oktoberfest, if that makes sense, where like I can drink a bunch of these, but a really good Oktoberfest, I'm drinking 2 max and then my stomach hurts. So.
No, I know exactly what you're saying because some of those notes, some of that, if it's closer to 7%, it feels a little heavy. Well, I'm also drinking like what would be considered a tailgating Oktoberfest. It's the Victory Fest beer, 5.6% alcohol, Marsden style lager, as most or all of them are. And this one, I think it was better than that one. Just slightly, not anything amazing. It's probably also getting about a 3.75. Not going to go 4, but it just is really easy to drink. Very, very easy. It's already gone. Like, I mean, I know I lost some in the spill, but I drank it really fast because it tasted good and it was light. Like you could have 4 of these before the game, feeling no pain, but also not messed up. So I like the Victory Fest beer. I've had it probably every year in the last few years because you always manage to get one depending like what bars you're at that year, but it's always solid. It's never gonna knock your socks off, but it's always good. So
I will say I pre-gamed with a Miller High Life because sometimes you just
had a Miller High Life yesterday.
It's so good, man. And that meme, there's a meme where it's like the can of beer and it's like top of it's like, oh man, I can't wait to taste this delicious Miller High Life, and halfway through it's like, man, this is so refreshing. And then when the can is empty, it's just the title track for What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers.
I love those memes, man. But yeah, my buddy, he's like, "What do you want to drink?" I was like, "I'm usually just a beer drinker." Like we were going up to their house yesterday, and I show up. He's like, "I grabbed some High Lifes. Is that all right?" I was like, "It's amazing.
It's a
Thank you."
champagne of beer.
Yeah, like I'll have 6.